criticized by ordinary people. They had quite a tough time. So they did not like 100 flowers. They felt as if they were punching bags. They were not happy.
Under pressure from the party, Mao reversed himself. In June 1957, he published an article calling the people who had spoken out enemies and rightists. Mao appointed Deng Xiaoping to lead the anti-rightist movement.
I was supposed to have committed 29 crimes. One was that I supported the policy of letting 100 flowers bloom. It was Mao Zedong himself who started the policy. How could it be a crime? But it was.
The rightists were denounced in front of their colleagues in struggle meetings. Professor Ge Pei-chi was criticized in this meeting at the People's University in Beijing.
Ge Pei-chi was my neighbor. He was already done for. That's what we called it. I saw his youngest child, who was about 5 or 6 months old. His nurse had quit. The baby was crawling outside the building under the burning sun. I felt sorry for him and picked him up. Some people said, "You shouldn't do that. Ge Pei-chi is a bad person. Why are you holding his child? You'll get into trouble." They meant well. I said, "The baby hasn't done anything wrong."
Ge Pei-chi's family was ostracized for years. Ge Pei-chi himself spent the next 2 decades doing hard labor.
I had been in the revolutionary ranks for so many years. At the meeting, I was the most senior person there, but I was finished. I suddenly realized that I had fallen from the sky down to the earth. I could never get up again. I was a rightist, and I was kicked out.
In an internal party document, Mao estimated that about 10% of the people were rightists. Local officials interpreted this to mean they had to find 10 rightists among every 100 people.
They accused my wife of telling my son to tell other children that their land and house were ours. It wasn't true. She never said anything like that. But when you were told to confess, you had to say something. They wouldn't let you go if you didn't. People at the meeting shouted, "Struggle against her, hit her." She was just a peasant woman. She wasn't like me. I could make things up on the spot so I wouldn't get hurt. She couldn't do that. What could we do? Someone took her backstage. He said to her, "Just say anything. Say you were wrong in saying this or doing that." But my old woman was stupid. Her mind did not work fast. She was taught what to say. She walked onto the stage saying, okay, okay, I'll say that. But once she was there, she forgot everything. She was scared stiff. When she got home, she cried and cried. It was 1958, during the anti-rightist movement. It was the first time she was ever repudiated. But she was not labeled a rightist. She was not qualified. Not at all qualified.
Nearly 1 million people were condemned as rightists. They were sent to jail and prison camps or to work in the countryside. The anti-rightist campaign effectively silenced China's intellectuals. Mao had decided that they were no longer needed. Mao was also beginning to question China's relationship with the Soviet Union. When Nikita Khrushchev and Mao met in 1958, they kept up appearances of solidarity. But in private, they disagreed on major issues. During the visit, Mao did not tell Khrushchev that he was about to launch military action against his old enemy, the nationalists. When the communists took power in 1949, the defeated nationalist government fled to Taiwan, also called Formosa. Led by Chiang Kai-shek, they still claimed to be the true government of China, and they had American support.
The United States must remove any doubt regarding our readiness to fight, if necessary, to preserve the vital stake of the free world in a free Formosa.
The nationalists hoped one day to retake the mainland. Their troops trained on islands which lay just off China's coast. In August 1958, the communists began to shell them. President Eisenhower stood firm in his commitment to the nationalists. Mao did not want a war with the United States. After a few tense weeks, he stopped the bombardment. The crisis petered out, but it had lasting repercussions. While Khrushchev backed the Chinese communists in public, he was furious with Mao. The attack could have triggered a superpower war. In 1959, the two men met for the last time. A year later, they broke off relations. But foreign criticism did not sway Mao's government. They viewed conflict with the nationalists as a purely domestic matter. The same was true, they asserted, of their actions in Tibet. For centuries, this remote and religious land had been regarded by the Chinese as part of China. In 1950, the communists enforced their claim by taking over Tibet. In 1959, Tibetans rebelled. The People's Liberation Army crushed the revolt. As reports of atrocities and destruction reached the outside world, China's international isolation